let's get started, guys, here with a little bit of a pull. Woo! Who heard that pop? Oh, this car sounds so good right now. All right, guys, today, what's up? Let's start with that. What's up? How's it going, guys? I wanted to address something that has been asked forever on this channel. Am I done modifying my Subaru WRX? Should you stop modifying your WRX or STI once you get to stage 2 protuned and you don't want to go any further? And specifically for the channel, people have been asking me this because I haven't put out an install in months. Well, that's not exactly true. I've done some exterior installs, but I haven't done anything large. And people are like, you're not modifying anymore. Well, it's kind of true and it's kind of not. I've got tons of modifications planned, and I'll tell you in a little bit about what they are. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you're here to understand whether you should stop or not, I'm going to tell you why and why I'm not stopping, because I'm doing a little bit of both. But in reality, it's just because I live in Boston, and right now it's freezing rain, but it's been snowing forever now, so that's why we've been on a little bit of a hiatus for physical installs. And my garage just doesn't have too much room, so I have to do all my installs outside, which is a freaking bummer, but that's just the reality of living in the Boston area and trying to modify cars. And before we get started, guys, I will roll a clip now. If you are new to the channel and don't know what I'm driving and you want to see what I'm driving, I'll roll a little bit of an intro here. This is still an old intro. We're gonna be filming another one when the weather's better. That's the key here, unfortunately. Let's check it out. And guys, before we get too far into this video, if you are new to the channel and haven't already considered subscribing, or you're a regular of the channel and you haven't pressed that bell notification, please consider subscribing to the channel or jamming on that bell notification so you guys get notified when I put out new videos that aren't necessarily as glamorous as some of my other videos. I'd say this is a less glamorous video because it's more of a channel update, but that's just how YouTube works, and you've got to make content that fits both niches. Who knows, it sometimes feels like this content does better than my installs, because my part installs sometimes do not so great. And it's amazing, I've got a SUV riding me right now. I'm going pretty dang fast, much faster than I should be, through some back roads with some terrible weather, freezing ice, and lots of water on the ground. And you'd think that they wouldn't be riding me because they're in a car that very much cannot handle what we're going through. We're in one of my favorite places to do a pull here. We can't go too hard, but we'll go kind of hard. There's just so much water down. Let's give her a little gas here. Woo! Who heard that? I hope my audio heard that. I swear when it rains, this car pops like crazy. I'll roll a little bit of a clip here of what this sounds like just with the windows down while it's not raining, so you guys have some perspective here. So we're back from all that jazz and all that cool stuff. Am I done modifying this car? No, I'm not. How many mods are planned in the spring when it gets warmer, when I can actually install parts? So many that I can't even count at this point. I must have 25, maybe even 30 things that are going on to this car. A mixture of performance and non-performance, a lot of exterior stuff. I really want to invest some time on making this thing look absolutely freaking amazing. It's been a goal of mine literally forever, guys. I know, like, everybody comments and they're like, well, we like your wheels, we like the little bit of stuff that you've done, but the rest of the car is like, eh. So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna make this thing unique. It's gonna be aggressive, it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do coilovers. And I know you guys, I've been telling you guys forever I can't do it because I literally can't survive in Boston with a lowered car. But you guys have complained enough about my wheel gap that I've just kind of succumbed to peer pressure here. It's gonna change my ability to drive on a regular basis, but that wheel gap is going to be gone. So I'm gonna be doing some coilovers. I'm super excited. I'm gonna get those things ordered probably this weekend even. But before we talk too much more about my car, let's talk about generally for a second, in case you're here wondering whether or not you should stop after your protuned. The answer is maybe and maybe not. I mean, I've talked about this a million times in the future, and I'll talk about it specifically for me because I think I align with what I'm doing with this car exactly where I feel that you should be. Is unless you're willing to shell out another $5,000, if you're already at like 300 and 320 wheel horsepower, unless you're willing to shell out another like $5,000, maybe 3,000, but really if you're gonna go that far, you may as well do it right. That's the reality of the cost of the next step for this car. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of in between, but not too much. And honestly, again, if you're going for it, you might as well spend the money on doing either a new turbo, flex fuel, something along those lines, so you can actually have fun with the car and so that you're not getting a retune and potentially paying for some labor to install something small to get another 15 wheel horsepower. Does that mean I'm doing it? That means I'm waiting. I'm gonna be doing all my exterior and interior stuff first, and then once that is done and I feel comfortable exactly with how the car looks, I will be putting a new turbo and probably flex fuel on this car. I might do both and kind of step them between so that we can see some before and after comparisons on what you should do. But that's the reality. I want to make sure that the car that is sitting in my driveway is not worth more than $50,000. That is my goal. And you guys might say that's crazy, but that's just the reality of it. So I think after all the exterior mods I have planned, including the cost of the car, I'll be invested right around $30,000, where I'm pretty comfortable with what I should have in the car, being a modified vehicle, especially just a WRX. And then I've got to consider whether or not I buy my R35 first or I go for the next step of power for this car. Kind of not super clear cut, because going the next step, again, I might as well do it. The next step is really building like a drift missile, because you can, like with the next step, you can probably expect upwards of a 30% increase in horsepower and torque, which is a monumental increase in what this car is capable of. Now that's just a rough number, don't quote me on it, but that's just my guess basically. And I don't even know where I would use it, so I've got to look into track events. I'm going to get signed up for some track events that I can do without a cage. So am I done modifying my WRX? Not in the slightest. I'm about to embark in one of the most in-depth and heaviest steps of the modification. I've done like 10% of the modifications that I plan on doing, and the other 90%, well, the other 85% are coming in the spring. It's going to be, we're going to be doing at least one modification video a week. That is the kind of scale here, and that should last all the way through the summer. So definitely subscribe and hit the bell notification if you want to stay tuned on that. And we've got other cars coming to the channel. And if you've been part of the live streams, you guys know that I've started a little bit of a company here just to get some of these parts cheaper, make them myself, and get them to you guys so you guys can spend a little bit less on your builds and get the same or better quality parts. So that's going to become a larger focus. I'm going to be testing out more and more parts so that I can look into making them myself. That's just the reality, but what does it mean for you guys? It means you're going to see tons of amazing and fun content, and it's going to be way more in depth about specifically the parts, how they fit on the car, testing differences, all that extremely fun stuff and process. And I couldn't be more excited myself for what's coming to the channel, and I hope you guys can share that excitement. And I just want to let you guys know, if you haven't been part of our Saturday evening, Saturday night live streams, definitely think about tuning in. I don't do them every Saturday. I am trying though. I've been on for the past couple Saturdays, and midday on Saturday, I always release on my community board for the channel, on the community page, the community tab. If you go to the channels, like my full channels page, I announce on the community tab exactly when the live stream will be happening, and I've been pretty much accurate and logged in exactly at that time. Everything's in Eastern Standard Time, so I hope you guys will be there. And in the future, I will, once I'm fully stocked on the parts for the company, on those live streams, I will be giving out coupon codes so you guys can save a little bit more money. Again, because the goal here is not to make a massive business, because I'm working on the YouTube channel. That's my main focus right now, but it's mainly to be able to design parts for my own car and hook you guys up with those parts so you're not spending an exorbitant amount of money. So I hope you guys come there, check it out. I hope you guys enjoy what I'm doing with my WRX and the content that I'm producing. I am trying to put more of an effort into it and get more content for you guys, increasing the quality of the content and the content that's going to be coming in the spring. I've made a huge investment in the gear that I have so that I can really up the quality of what you guys are watching. So stay tuned, guys. I say this all the time, but fun stuff to come, and I'm really excited for what will be coming to the channel and what I can do for you guys. So thank you guys. Stay safe. We're gonna finish here because I need to go install brakes on my daily driver. At least I'm doing the rear rotors and pads, and I might just do that on the live stream. We'll see how far through I get with them between now and the live stream.